reveal disturbing financial irregularities, okay, with Jermaine Shermock. That's how he files it. He doesn't file it under Dr. Umar Shermack. It's Jermaine, okay?
Heard the rumors about Dr. Umar Johnson allegedly being arrested, all because he been scamming and scheming for the past 20 years. He been working on building the school, but he acquired millions and the school's still not up and running.
And the bank told me to enter my 16-digit card number. I did that. They told me they had no record of my account. They had no record of my account.
The feds just came crashing down on Dr. Umar's empire, and it's looking bad, real bad. They slapped him with federal charges that could lock him away for decades, and the list is heavy. RICO, tax fraud, wire fraud, the works. What's worse, investigators claim they've got receipts linking everything straight to the donations he collected for that long-promised school project. Dr. Umar is shook right now because this isn't one of those situations where he can just rant his way out of trouble.
Dr. Umar is not a real person that anybody should be taking any advice from. I hope that we all understand that, but it seems like some folks are surprised.
And everybody's asking the same burning question. Is Dr. Umar the real deal, or has this all been a scam from the jump? But before we dive deep into the charges, let's talk about the exact moment he realized the feds had him cornered, because it was messy.
Dr. Umar has access to no money right now because my personal account contains all of my money. I only send it to Apple Pay and PayPal as necessary. So the Prince of Pan-Africanism, for the first time in my life, is without any digital currency. So for my loyal supporters out there, if you can spare a few dollars so I can take care of Queen Mother Ifa Tunde and myself until my bank account is frozen or canceled so I can get my money back and open up a new account, please hit my Apple Pay or hit my Pay.
He hopped on Instagram Live ranting about how the system is plotting to destroy an innocent black man who's only trying to uplift his people. Classic Umar move, right? But this time it felt different. His voice was shaky. His whole vibe was off, like a man who just got hit with the biggest L of his life. He started spiraling about his accounts being frozen, and now we know why. Those same accounts are smack in the middle of the fraud investigation that could bury him in prison time. And here's the kicker. People later found out he filmed that live right after federal agents told him to turn himself in. If you look closely at the video, you can literally see the exact moment he realized his entire operation, his so-called mission, was about to crumble to dust. According to reports, Dr. Umar finally showed up to the authorities, but not without trying to control the narrative first. He told his inner circle to keep everything low-key. No cameras, no press statements, no photos, nothing. Just a silent surrender, because he knew if the world saw him walking in cuffs, the image of him as a leader would shatter instantly. His worst nightmare, being exposed as a fraud, was closer than ever. But here's the twist he didn't see coming. The feds weren't playing quiet. Not long after, they leaked documents that blew his cover wide open. And just when Umar thought he could sweep the RICO mess under the rug, Tasha K stepped in, and you already know she comes loaded with receipts, and she hopped on YouTube and tore into Umar's so-called charity, and what she revealed was straight up shocking.
According to IRS Form 990, the filings reveal disturbing financial irregularities, okay, with Jermaine Shermock. That's how he files it. He doesn't file it under Dr. Umar Shermack. It's Jermaine, okay? Now, the nonprofit shows assets of $634,436 as of 2024. This is what he's saying that he raised. This is what he reported. Okay, now you know he go begging inside of that car without a haircut every other day, or on the side of the building in which he lives in, because they say his house is right there on a row house in Philadelphia somewhere. Okay, according to the IRS filings, this is inconsistent reporting of contributions. Okay, now while official filings show that only $321,408 in total contributions over the last 5 years, evidence suggests Johnson raised significantly more through other channels.
She didn't just throw shade, she came with hard evidence. She broke down how his school project was nothing more than a front, and it lines up perfectly with the FBI indictment that calls out the missing donations as part of the racketeering scheme.
Pan-Africanism, brothers and sisters, I'm back again. While I was on the live, the children had snuck into the school, which means they knew the door was unlocked. Listen to me, brothers and sisters. For children to know that a door is opened, and I was only away from the school for 30 days. For children to know that the door was open, and I was only away from the school for 30 days. For children to know the door was open, and I was only away from the school for 30 days, I wonder when they broke in. I wonder when they broke in, because if the children already know the door was open.
Tasha even claimed that Umar was skimming money off the top for his personal lifestyle. And to make it worse, he allegedly dodged taxes by refusing to account for the donations altogether. That's the exact kind of shady move that has the feds breathing down his neck right now. With Tasha spelling out the numbers clear as day, the story stopped looking like gossip and started looking like proof. For context, let's break this down. Umar has been begging for funds to build his dream school for years, and here's the kicker. He didn't have money of his own invested. Nope, every single cent poured into that project came straight from the pockets of everyday people who believed in his vision. And yet, to this day, Umar has never been transparent about how much cash he's really pulled in or what he's actually doing with it. Instead, he gets online lecturing and demanding that African Americans ditch public schools altogether and funnel their money into his school. The audacity is wild. Plenty of folks saw the whole thing as a straight-up hustle. I mean, just look at the name of the school. It's shady from the start. Umar's been claiming he's a descendant of Frederick Douglass, but he's never proven it, and the Douglass family themselves have never recognized him. That's a big red flag right there. Still, a lot of people didn't catch on and kept sending him their hard-earned cash. And here's the suspicious part. After all this time, the school still hasn't opened its doors. Every time he announces an opening date, something magically pops up to delay it again. Coincidence? Maybe. But now with everything coming out, it's looking more like Umar's been the one engineering these delays himself to keep the scam alive. This latest delay wasn't just shady, it's now front and center in the prosecutor's case, used as proof that Umar was staging excuses to cover up those missing millions.
GoFundMe campaigns, all right, that he's been suspended from through 2014 and 2015 of over $400,000 raised before the account suspension. That's a lot of money for GoFundMe, okay? PayPal donations, approximately $125,000 documented. Speaking fees and direct donations, estimated $750,000. This man raising all this money and ain't got a haircut yet. Total estimated funds, 1.6 to 2 million that they can account for, and this is with them digging. They've been on this, okay? And we're gonna talk about how much they've been on this, and that's the reason why that damn school is on the auction block right now, vacant school that never opened. And he promised to open it in 2013 and kept pushing back the opening date and blamed us, well, not me, y'all, if y'all donated, as to why it can't open, because black people can't stick together, okay? Even though he was running it like a mom and pop.
Back in June, tied directly to his fraud investigation, Umar suddenly reported that the school had been vandalized. He claimed priceless cultural artifacts, library books, and educational supplies were destroyed. But here's the suspicious part. Not a single scratch touched the actual building. The damage was just bad enough to push back the school opening yet again. Convenient, right? And to make the whole story look more believable, Umar filmed himself interrogating a group of kids on camera like they were the culprits. The crazy part? He posted that clip online without even having the parents' permission. Police looked into the so-called crime, but they couldn't piece together anything solid. In fact, the only evidence that vandalism ever happened was Umar's little video. And honestly, the damage in that clip looked nowhere near serious enough to cancel a full school year. Something about it just didn't add up, and the internet wasted no time tearing him apart. One viral comment summed it up perfectly. Where's the proof of the damage? Charged vandalism? Were you insured? Why haven't you posted even one picture showing this vandalism? Or is the real vandalism you in this whole project? And it didn't stop there. Another person claiming to know the banking game even dragged him over his posts about frozen accounts, calling his explanation horribly flawed. A few weeks later, the truth finally came out about this so-called vandalism, and when it did, Umar had nothing left to say. It became crystal clear this stunt was part of the reason the feds had already started digging into his finances and the entire school scam. Turns out, Doctor, Umar wasn't just dodging questions, he wasn't even paying his basic bills. Reports revealed he had been skipping out on vacant property registration fees and utility bills, leaving the so-called schoolhouse on the chopping block for weeks. In fact, insiders said the property was set to hit auction by August 25th, 2025 if he didn't cough up the money. So what did Umar do? Exactly what he always does, go on the defensive. He ranted that the fees were punitive and discriminatory, claiming the state was plotting to shut down his dream school. Then he flipped it into a pity party, begging the public for even more donations and painting himself as a victim of a grand conspiracy. But according to Tasha K, this wasn't about discrimination at all. It was about Umar scrambling to stay out of jail. She revealed that his desperate pleas were nothing but tactics to buy himself time with the feds breathing down his neck. And if you thought that was bad, wait until you hear what those leaked federal documents exposed. The paperwork revealed what many had whispered for years. Dr. Umar was allegedly running a full-on PayPal scam. The report claims he raked in over $1.5 million through GoFundMe and PayPal, supposedly for school and other community causes. But here's the bombshell. Nobody knows where that money actually went. No receipts, no breakdown, no transparency, nothing. Just a trail of vanished cash and empty promises. Every time Dr. Umar gets called out, he falls back on the same tired trick, posting another video ranting about how the system is out to destroy him and warning the black community not to believe the lies. For a while, that routine kept people on his side, but now folks are asking hard questions he simply can't answer. Recently, Charleston White went straight for his neck, blasting Umar for preying on black women with emotional manipulation. He claimed Umar panders to women, pretending to be their ally, when in reality, all he wants is their money. And sadly, Charleston wasn't lying. Umar has built his whole image on being the protector of black women, even going so far as to drag men like Jonathan Majors for dating white women. But when black women themselves start questioning him, suddenly he flips, insulting them and dismissing their concerns. That double standard is exactly why his mask is starting to slip. The wildest part, it's no longer just his haters or critics calling him out. Even longtime supporters, the very people who once defended him, are now pulling their donations, demanding receipts, and quietly scrubbing him from their socials. Some aren't even being quiet about it anymore. They're exposing him publicly, calling him what many suspected all along, a crook and maybe even a criminal. And one particular person's decision to speak out sent the internet into a frenzy because nobody saw that betrayal coming. The most shocking betrayal came from none other than Dr. Umar's longtime ally, Tariq Nasheed. Tariq sat down for an interview with DJ Vlad and he did not hold back. When the topic of Umar came up, Tariq admitted that he once truly believed in the school project, and that's huge because now even Umar's closest friends are echoing what the FBI's been saying all along. This was never about education, it was about fraud. Tariq revealed that he personally donated a serious amount of money to Umar's so-called Pan-African dream. At first, he thought it was a movement worth backing, but his faith started crumbling once Umar got caught up in drama, clout chasing, and conspiracy rants instead of focusing on the vision. The final straw? A falling out after Tariq tried to warn him about losing focus. What really stood out in the interview was Tariq's tone. He clearly had respect for Umar once upon a time, but you can hear it fade as he talks. By the end, it's almost like Tariq himself finally accepted the truth, that Umar is shady and always has been. And here's the kicker. Umar being shady wasn't exactly news to the feds. Turns out he's been on their radar for years without even knowing it. The very first strike came way back in 2018, and it didn't even involve money. The State Board of Psychology accused him of practicing without a license. That wasn't just embarrassing, it showed a clear pattern of deception. And now, prosecutors are connecting those early lies to the bigger scams, proving that Umar's empire has been built on smoke and mirrors all along. Now, of course, Dr. Umar denied everything, every allegation, every receipt. He cried about being targeted, claiming his Facebook and GoFundMe accounts were suspended for no reason, and then jumped into his usual victim rants. For a while, it actually worked. Some folks started feeling sorry for him, but here's the truth. The receipts were already out there, and they painted a whole different picture. Videos have surfaced all over the internet showing Umar acting like a certified shrink, tossing around psychology terms and using slick mind tricks to squeeze more donations out of people. Don't forget, he even self-published that book, Psycho-Academic Holocaust, The Special Education and ADHD Wars Against Black Boys. In it, he argued that learning disabilities were just a way to discriminate against black children. But then, years later, he posted videos saying ADHD and mental illnesses weren't even real. The contradictions alone prove he was playing both sides for profit. So when he turns around denying that he ever practiced psychology, that just exposed him as a liar and raised suspicions that he might be running other shady operations that could harm people in ways we don't even know yet. And once the feds dug in, it didn't take long to confirm what many already suspected. Dr. Umar was never the man he claimed to be. That. Now it's all crashing down, the fake school, the frozen accounts, the bogus psychology claims. It's all coming back as Exhibit A in a federal case. And here's the part he can't spin. His supporters are turning their backs, the feds are stacking evidence, and the internet has stopped defending him. Unless he pulls off a miracle, Doctor. Umar isn't walking into his academy. He's walking straight into a jail cell. So what do you think? Was he really a fraud all along? Or is this a setup? Let us know your thoughts in the comments, and don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to Public Secrets for more messy exclusives.